Common sense is not so common. Common sense is often considered an essential trait to possess for living a successful life. It is the ability to make practical and reasonable decisions based on the circumstances and context in which one finds themselves. However, it is a surprising fact that common sense is not so common. In this article, we will discuss why common sense is not so common and how it impacts people's daily lives. The lack of common sense can be observed in various aspects of life. For instance, when we look at the news, we often come across incidents that could have been easily avoided if the people involved had applied common sense. Examples include accidents caused by reckless driving, people putting themselves in harm's way by doing stunts without proper safety measures, or even the failure of politicians to take appropriate action to solve a problem. One reason for the lack of common sense is that people are not born with it. It is something that develops over time through experiences, education, and exposure to various situations. In other words, it is learned behavior. Unfortunately, not everyone has access to the same learning opportunities or is willing to learn from their experiences. For instance, someone who grows up in a sheltered environment and does not face challenges or consequences for their actions may not develop the same level of common sense as someone who grew up in a more challenging environment. Another reason for the lack of common sense is the overload of information that people are exposed to on a daily basis. The internet, social media, and other technological advancements have made access to information easy and readily available. However, this abundance of information can lead to confusion and the inability to differentiate between what is useful and what is not. People often become overwhelmed with the amount of information available, and they fail to use their judgment to make informed decisions. Furthermore, people often rely on their biases and stereotypes, which can lead to poor decision-making. They may assume that they know what is best without taking the time to gather relevant information and analyze the situation. This can lead to actions that are harmful to themselves or others. In some cases, the lack of common sense can also be attributed to the current education system. Education often focuses on rote learning and memorization of facts rather than critical thinking and problem-solving skills. As a result, students may struggle to apply common sense to real-world situations. The impact of the lack of common sense can be significant in daily life. It can lead to poor decision-making, lack of judgment, and the inability to recognize dangerous situations. For instance, a lack of common sense can cause someone to drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs or jump off a cliff without proper safety measures. The consequences of such actions can be severe and even life-threatening. In the workplace, the lack of common sense can lead to poor performance, missed opportunities, and even accidents. For instance, an employee who fails to follow proper safety protocols could harm themselves or others. In conclusion, common sense is not so common, and it has become a major issue in today's society. The lack of common sense can be attributed to various factors such as lack of experience, information overload, biases and stereotypes, and the education system. The consequences of the lack of common sense can be significant in daily life, and it can impact people's decision-making abilities, judgment, and ability to recognize dangerous situations. To address this issue, we need to promote critical thinking, problem-solving skills, and a more practical approach to learning. We need to encourage people to be more aware of their actions, consider the consequences of their decisions, and learn from their experiences. By doing so, we can develop a more rational and sensible society that is better equipped to face the challenges of today's world.